Hello, this is Teacher Nicole. This video is for Citizenship class. Let's talk about the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court. Let's look at this picture. The Constitution. The Constitution. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Supreme means number one, highest, supreme. What is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. The Constitution sets up the government. The Constitution sets up the government. What does the Constitution do? Sets up the government. There are three branches of government. There are three branches of government. The Supreme Court is one branch of government. The Supreme Court. The Supreme Court meets in Washington, D.C. The Supreme Court is the highest court in the United States. What is the highest court in the United States? The Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is the judicial branch. Judicial branch. Supreme Court, judicial branch are the same. The judicial branch explains laws. The judicial branch explains laws. What does the judicial branch do? Explains laws. Judge. Judge. A judge works in court. A judge on the Supreme Court is called a justice. A judge on the Supreme Court is called a justice. There are 9 justices on the Supreme Court. There are 9 justices on the Supreme Court. How many justices are on the Supreme Court? 9. John Roberts is the Chief Justice. John Roberts is the Chief Justice. Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? John Roberts. The rule of law says everyone must obey the law. The rule of law says everyone must obey the law. What is the rule of law? Everyone must obey the law. Let's practice the questions. What is the supreme law of the land? What is the supreme law of the land? The Constitution. The Constitution. What does the Constitution do? What does the Constitution do? Sets up the government. Sets up the government. Name one branch or part of government. Name one branch or part of government. The courts or the judicial branch. The judicial branch. What does the judicial branch do? What does the judicial branch do? Explains laws. How many justices are on the Supreme Court? How many justices are on the Supreme Court? 9. There are 9 justices on the Supreme Court. Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? Who is the Chief Justice of the United States now? John Roberts. John Roberts is the Chief Justice of the United States. What is the rule of law? What is the rule of law? Everyone must obey the law. Everyone must obey the law. Now let's practice writing. Now let's practice writing. You need a pencil and paper. You will write the sentences. You will write the sentences and take a picture and send the sentences to me. We live in the United States. We live in the United States. Live. L-I-V-E. Live. We live in the United States. Washington, D.C. is the capital. Washington, D.C. is the capital. Capital. C-A-P-I-T-A-L. A P I T A L. Capital. Washington, D.C. is the capital. Freedom of speech is a right. Freedom of speech is a right. Freedom of speech. Freedom. Freedom. Of. O-F. Speech. S-P-E-E-C-H. Freedom of speech is a right. All people in the U.S. have rights. All people in the U.S. have rights. People. P-E-O-P-L-E. People. All people in the U.S. have rights. The Supreme Court meets in Washington, D.C. The Supreme Court meets in Washington, D.C. Meets. M-E-E-T-S. Meets. The Supreme Court meets in Washington, D.C. You write, take a picture, and send to me. You can text me. You can send on WhatsApp. Now let's practice reading. Reading. What is one right in the Bill of Rights? What is one right in the Bill of Rights? Who has rights? Who has rights? What is the capital of the United States? What is the capital of the United States? What country do we live in? What country do we live in? Where does the Supreme Court meet? Where does the Supreme Court meet? We are finished talking about the Supreme Court. Thank you for watching. Practice writing and practice reading. Have a nice day.